What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? I am live on the air with Ethan. What's going on, Ethan?
Nothing much. Enjoying the beautiful day and the birds chirping, and that's about it. Just birds chirping. Just remembering things. Before I left the city, I like to say that there are a lot of wicked people in this world that don't want to see certain individuals successful,
Right.
and it's usually, and I'm gonna say, a racial thing. It could be that. It could be that she wanted the person and you know he did not want to take her serious.
What was the reason why he didn't take her serious? What did he see that he noticed something wasn't about her for him not to take her serious? Because it's always a reason. Normally, a man, when he gets into a situation with a woman, he wants to take it to the next step eventually. So, what made him not take it to the next step eventually? What did he see that he told you?
Well, it's basically he wanted to be successful. He
Right.
was to be a football player,
He wanted to be a football player. Okay.
and she threw the monkey wrench in that. She basically said things about the young man that wasn't true,
Right.
and then time passed, and the truth was found out. No,
How long was it that he didn't get drafted, correct?
well, the thing is, he fell into the trap. He didn't use his recording device.
Oh, he didn't have the tape on her. Oh man.
So, he fell into the trap, and sadly his career went on the toilet. But the light was in the end of the tunnel because when everyone found out the truth, then people wanted him. But he cannot get those 5 years that he lost.
He did 5 years in prison for her lie.
Yep.
Wow, he can't get that back. Did they ever reimburse him?
Yeah, they have to give you by law. They have to give you a certain amount for each year that you were inside.
Did she do time?
Yeah, I'm definitely that's perjury. Perjury, they give you time. I don't know how much, but this is what I'm gonna say.
Go ahead, speak it.
If you want to be successful,
Yes.
and you have the potential, you
Right.
have, as they say, eye of the tiger, that you are hitting a good boxing or even football career.
Yep.
Don't be bothered with nobody.
Don't be bothered with nobody. I agree with that. I agree.
Don't
Yep.
be bothered with nobody.
I agree.
If a person wants a relationship with you, you let them know nicely. Listen, I'm focusing on my career
Yep.
because evil comes when we least expect it.
I agree. Yep.
And I didn't know the full 9 yards up till I got here. You know what I'm saying?
Until you got there where you at and successful, correct?
Yeah, and
So
then
let
I
me ask you
started.
this question. I'm gonna ask you this serious question because I talked about this earlier.
Okay.
I told the audience I'd rather have 200 million than having over 200 women's phone numbers because at one time I had over 200 women's phone numbers. You know that you've been around me. You've seen how I move. So let me
Well, the
ask you
thing
this.
about it,
Let me
I'd
ask you
rather.
this. Would you let's go even let's just be facetious. Would you rather have $100,000 or dealt with 100 women? Which one is better for you?
$100,000.
Okay, that's all I need to say.
If it's 200 million, shit, give me the money. You know what? I'll tell you the truth. Now I'm gonna say this with respect to the audience.
Hmm.
Not only the money, but the love that you will get from the Most High.
That's the most important thing. Yep.
It's the most important thing ever. Don't lose face. Don't get angry. And like I said before, there's hypnosis for that you can get for free on the internet that'll keep you calm at all times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say this is not the first case.
Speak on another case.
There was another case that a woman was doing her business with 4 different men.
Right.
Little does she know they were recording her.
Yeah, you gotta have tapes, man. Yep.
You know, and then there was another one
Mm-hmm.
that I overheard 2 young gentlemen talking about in the supermarket. If he didn't have his evidence recorded, they would have gave him 15 years.
Yep. So
But
go ahead.
People don't understand. It's not the time. It's the way your mind becomes because of doing the time.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Yep.
you're not gonna be the same person. You're gonna end up losing your mind. You're like, here I am. I didn't do it, and I'm inside here.
Yep.
In
Yep.
other words, an angel that got thrown in the lake of fire. I'm gonna say it that way.
You know how many men that were successful, yet because they didn't have all the procedures? How many times I told you have more than one phone?
You told me that, yeah.
What year I told you that?
Oh man, that's way back in the days. Oh man, that's over 20 years ago.
Yep.
But I'm gonna say this.
You gotta have phones, cameras, even in your car. You gotta have cameras in your car. All that. Yep.
Especially in your car.
Yep, especially in your car. Yep.
Because she or he can plant something there.
Yep.
Now, you see,
you gotta expect everything. Bonk that. Her words don't mean nothing. Her words don't mean nothing. After words, what she say, right?
Exactly, but check this out.
Would you say, hold on, would you say when you didn't have that much, I'm gonna ask you this question. Just be truthful.
Yeah.
Before you got to where you at, was you more lenient towards the woman than you are where you at? Be honest.
Of course.
So would you say to the men that's not 6 figures that they kiss the woman's behind more than men that's 6 figures and above? Would you agree with that?
Yes, but this is the one thing I'm going to tell the men.
Go ahead.
The Bible says that the best way, never put any trust in man or woman. Put your trust in the Heavenly Father.
Facts.
I am not without sin. I'm going to say this. I'm not without sin. We all fall. But get up and say this ain't going to happen again.
Yep.
There was one man, I'm not going to say who it is, who they set him up. And me personally, I already know that he didn't do it. But they set him up. And they were going to do it again, but he picked onto it and then he ran away. You see, people are wicked. People don't like to see anybody successful.
Yep.
People are wicked. People are evil. They don't care.
Yep.
And I'm going to say this. A lot of times also, it could be even somebody close to you, whether it's an associate or even a family member.
Right.
So let's not pull punches. I'm not going to say a dad or a mom, but I am going to say a sibling. I'm going to say a cousin. I'm going to say a nephew or a niece, you know. But I'm going to say to everyone, have your devices. Always have your devices. You know what's the worst? You know the worst crime that an individual can get charged with is a sexual crime?
Yep, just say that. Just stay with that. Yep. Just stay that. I'm glad you didn't go too further than that. Yes, that's a fact.
And there's so many wicked people that want to see the good people fall down. There was people downgrading certain celebrities who I know for a fact they don't go that way. But even he said it. All they want is money.
Yep.
Money is the root of all people. Now I'm gonna say this: you can have all the money you want, but I'd rather have forgiveness from heaven than have all the money in the world. And
Nope.
I'm a man because I'll admit the truth. I'd rather have forgiveness, I'll say it again, from heaven, from all the iniquities that was ever done, than have money, because money, you don't take it with you.
At the same time, you don't take it with you. Yet, let me ask you this question. That's true. You don't take it with you. Yet, are you happy where you at right now at this point in time of your life?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had a friend that wanted me to come visit, and I told him no, because the old days are gone. The old days are gone. And it brings a tear to my eyes to see how wicked people have become.
Yep.
How wicked people have become. And I'm so glad that I left, because you start looking at people's face features, the body language. And I even met a young man that for no reason at all, he hated me,
Yeah.
and he even tried to set me up. You see how weird people are? Like, okay, your life is miserable, but don't take it out on me.
Yep.
That's not my fault. You see, people are not, they do things and they're not afraid of the consequences.
Right. Absolutely.
There was one guy that he tried to do something and he got the karma that he deserved.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Are you more precautionary? Okay, let me be more specific. I was saying earlier, man, I would trade places with certain people situation. Now you know me to get a lot of women. What did I tell you? I told you this, right? Because you could confirm it. I say, yeah, I could get a lot of women. Where has it got me? Where? Nowhere. It gets you
You know what?
nowhere. Because after a certain time, you could have all the intercourse, all the so-called love. It's listen, it's not legitimate. You're talking.
No,
Ethan been around me for over 20 years, y'all. He know I'm telling the truth. He's seen me with different women. And one thing he realized is that I wasn't kissing they behind, because a lot of people speculate. I looked out for them, yeah. I I have not ever kissed a woman's behind. He'll tell you that.
now, one more thing
Go
is,
ahead.
now, I'm going to say this. There was a man that was successful, very successful,
Mm-hmm.
and he made one fatal mistake:
What's that mistake? Tell him. Tell him.
adultery.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the problem with humanity. They don't mind their business. So you see, they see that you're successful. Why should you have all the glory?
Say that again. I'm glad you're saying that. Say that again.
They see you're successful and they say to themselves, why should you have all the glory? You know? And this is the problem with humanity. They don't like seeing the other party happy.
Yep. That's a fact. Let me ask you this
Now,
question. Let me ask you this
there
question.
was,
Go ahead. Go
now
ahead. My fault.
I'm gonna give you another one.
Go ahead. My fault.
There was this guy in the 90s. We were walking together. He was muscular, more muscular than myself. You know that a girl bumped into a pole looking at him? Now, it's rare that that happens. Now, this is the problem with humanity itself. You can have all the wealth you want, but if you're not careful, in the blink of an eye, you can lose it.
I agree.
You can lose it. They can say so many horrible things about you. Oh my goodness, it's just scary out there. That's why when people tell me, "Oh, get a Facebook account, get a Twitter account," I don't want none of
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You just said a mouthful. Bro, I'll be honest with you, man. I told a couple of guys behind the scenes, right? They asked me this question: if you were successful, would you be on the internet? Hell no. Hell
it.
no, I
No,
would not be on the internet. Because it's a gift and a curse. What I say it's a gift and a curse is if it was up to me, I would not want to be on the internet if I was successful. You
no, and I wouldn't even want to be in the same country either. I will go to another country where it's so peaceful that it's wonderful. I'm not gonna name the countries. You gotta look for it yourself online. But there are certain countries that are very peaceful.
yeah, yep.
And I'm gonna say that if you're not careful, if you do get successful, I definitely recommend you go to a peaceful, loving countries. There's been some brothers who found their peace. And I must say this, man, money can never buy you peace. Money can never buy you peace. It can never buy you true love. Because you know what? In the end of the day,
But it exposes people though. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. You're right though. What you're saying is correct. Let me ask you this: have people been more exposed of who they are when you was having barely anything in your pocket to, or they've been exposed of who they are when you went over the six-figure mark? Be honest.
before I went to before I got the six-figure mark.
Okay, before, but I'm saying when you knew you was about to get it, that's when you seen it, right?
Yeah, and you know what?
You wasn't seeing it as much when you wasn't getting it, correct?
Exactly, and
Okay.
people were trying to stop me from leaving.
People was
People
trying to stop you from leaving. I'm glad you said that. Go ahead.
people in general, and like I said, people in general don't make you. Like I said, this guy tried to set me up, and
Yeah.
there was another one who is part of evil. I'm gonna say,
Yep.
and he tried to set me up, and then there was another guy who's got nothing better to do, but instead of helping that brother, like in the Bible it says, love thy brother like you would yourself.
Yep. That's correct.
And let me say this: a lot of those people, they're not gonna make it to go to heaven. I'm gonna say that because if you say, if you do evil things to someone who doesn't deserve it, then you're gonna get a punishment later on. The problem is that people don't like to see other people happy, and people are selfish in their own way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
One time,
Absolutely.
I told this one guy, he's my same nationality, and I told him, you know what? And he said, what? Your real friends are the ones that'll be there for you when you least expect it. Remember that. I told him, and I'm an older man. I told him, remember, your real friends are the ones that are gonna be there for you no matter what. And I'm gonna say there's a handful, and then there's the other two handful.
Yep.
The other two handful that they don't want you to be successful. As a matter of fact, if you look at your palm, that's how many people you got.
I agree. I agree.
Because you know what? It's so selfish. It's so evil. People are selfishly love to hurt other people. And there's people that love to put other people down.
Yep.
There's a such thing that's called mental poisoning, which they say, oh, you'll never amount to anything, you're a loser, this and that, whatever. Every negative thing you could think of.
Yep. They do that. Yep.
And they don't understand. If that person has the willpower of tempered steel, you're not gonna stop them. Like
Yep.
there was a gentleman that he was fat and he was so in love with this girl. Everybody was putting him down. You know what he did? He didn't make up any excuses. He joined the gym. and then he got muscular, and then that's when they want.
Yep, that's when they want you. Yeah, I know. That's true. What you told
You know,
me, hold on, what you told me came to fruition about the ladies. Guess what I did though? I ignored them. I ignored them. Bro, listen, you know what mission I'm on. So I'm
of
just
course.
giving you your credit. You was correct on what you told me. We're not going to talk about it on a public platform. What you said what the ladies was going to do, how they was going to do it, they did it today. They did it
Oh,
today. Everything you said happened today. I'm going to just say this. I had a lady was so disrespectful. I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm going to talk about this publicly. So she left. So she says to me, I'm going to go get my Mercedes. I want you to see it. Now, a lot of people would be like, what does that mean? How does she know I don't got a vehicle? Remember what you told me? That's one of the things you told me. And
yeah.
so that came to fruition, and you was right. I looked at her and I said, I don't care about what car you got. I really don't care. And this is what I'm going to tell you something. Ethan said this. People fear me getting a car. I told Ethan this. People fear me getting a car because I'm going to be quickly getting to become a millionaire. Because of the loss I've been through last year, nobody took a hit harder than me. Nobody. Ringo said, hold on, Ethan. Ringo said some things. I've been through some things none of you dudes in the chat ever been through. None of you, no disrespect. You have not been through the hell I've been through. And Ethan knows I've been through certain things. How did I give back in the days? What type of ladies I was around? What type of people I was around? I put people onto a lot of things, and the disrespect that I got from people was uncalled for. And that's why I'm the way I am. That's why Ringo said it correctly. When I become a millionaire, there's a lot of people ain't coming around me. And that's coming to fruition right now. I'm so, everything he said, Ringo, if you're listening, Ethan said it too. I'm starting to make it people, I'm ghosting people. I don't think I realized that. I've been ghosting people. Have y'all been paying attention in the chat? Have y'all noticed I've been ghosting people lately? That's the reason to that. I'm far removed from a lot of things, y'all. I'm far removed. I don't know. It's only people in the know. That's a leap in peeping game. Ethan even said it. Ethan said, bro, he told me everything what the women was going to do this week. What did I tell you? I don't care, right?
Yep.
That don't mean anything to me. When I say these ladies don't mean anything to me, guys, I'm on a full frequency of Florida now. I'm on a full frequency of Florida right now. And only brainwaves know exactly what I'm talking about. They had their chance with me last year. I don't want to hear about any relationship. Don't even speculate me being, any of you guys speculate of me being in a relationship with a woman this year, the Most High gonna deal with you. I'm telling you right now. So don't be speculating. I talk to women. I'm cordial with women. I'm not dealing with women. I don't want to deal with them right now. They're not on my radar. So you've been warned. You've been warned. And I told the same thing to Ethan. I don't want to. Ethan, do I cut you off when you tell me about women? I don't want to hear about that. I want to know when I'm going to get certain things, and I don't want them to be, okay, you got to tell me, be careful with the women. You always tell me that. That's true. But you know I'm going to be careful. You know that. I'm not playing around, man. These ladies try to get me into some drama today. Bro, everything you said happened today.
Well, didn't I tell you? Now, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You don't think that might have been the Lord talking through me? If I'm not mistaken, forgive me, heaven.
Yeah, of course the Lord is speaking to you. But it's like, I tell the Lord sometimes, look, man, I know the brothers speak well, man, but I don't want to hear about these women right now. I don't want them. I don't want them right now. They're not important to me right now. That's not important to me. That's not important to me. I got brothers and I rock with. They got their family men. I tell them that too. I don't, bro.
Of
I
course.
listen, when I went to go meet I went to go meet a brother in the truth in Georgia, right? Brainwaves.
Yeah.
I told him I don't care about the women in Atlanta and I don't care about the women in North Atlanta. I don't care. I don't care. I came to break bread with my brother, and that's it. And another brother I was supposed to see. I don't care about relationships. I don't care about that. That don't make me happy, bro. If you want to know, Ethan, whenever you see me happy, when was the last time you see me happy?
When you were becoming successful.
There you go.
A year ago.
Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
You were becoming successful a year ago, and they ruined you. No.
So what is for me to be happy about now? Honestly speaking, what is for me to be happy about? Since I got ruined, I haven't recovered from what I lost. I lost the opportunity to become a millionaire. I lost that.
Now, I want to tell the viewers something that I saw. And this happened for real. This isn't a joke. This person went to Walmart. Mm-hmm. She bent over in front of one of the workers, and she had on a miniskirt. Mm-hmm. To that same day, went to the internet, posted him on the internet, calling him a pervert.
Say that. We just say that. Just say that. That's it. Okay.
Saying this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. But what she didn't know was he wasn't interested in her at all. I'm going to leave that point across. Mm-hmm. You see, this is the point. People assume. And they don't know. How he found out is because somebody came up to him and told him, but he really didn't know because he didn't care for it. But you know that in certain, you know that if he really wanted to, he could have pressed charges on that person. Mm-hmm. You see, this is what I was trying to say. Okay, this is what I want to say. Somebody sees you working in a place like that. They wanted to stop him from becoming a general manager.
Wow.
That's the reason. That's the only reason why she did it. There's no other explanation.
That's what happened to me at the hospitality place. Oh my goodness, bro. Wow.
Now check it out.
You is not lying. Wow.
There is no other reason why an individual would do that to a man, except that she wanted to ruin his, and for the fun of it, because they don't even know each other.
So she was sent to get him in trouble.
Not sent. She did it out of her own free will. But my point was,
how you know she wasn't sent?
I mean, she could have been. Let's just say that she could have been sent, but he had no attraction to her. He didn't even like her.
But that's true. I'm glad that he didn't like her. So did he become general manager, or they didn't give it to him the position?
I don't think they gave. Well, the thing about it is, the ones that know him, knows his lifestyle. I'm not going to say what it is. Mm-hmm. But I assume that in time, he's still going to get the position anyway. Because that's just the way it is. You can't.
So how? Oh, let me ask you this question. What would you tell a man? How do you know when it's your time? Okay, let me ask you this question, because you're the latest one that became six figures. How did you know when you was becoming six figures? When did you felt it? What Because I'm gonna tell you mine. Let me tell you mine. Remember, I was successful running the business. When I was let go of the airport in 2016, yeah, was it 2016? Yeah, 2016, because I was on unemployment for almost 9. How much is how long is unemployment? 9 months, right? 6 months or 9 months?
Nine. I think 6 to 9 months.
6 to 9 months, right? So within that time frame, I started accumulating, saving money, and opened up my valet business. I had that eye of the tiger. Guess who was coming after me? Latino women, so-called black women. There was women that I know that they say wasn't interested in me. They was trying to get on. I said, "Oh no," because when you put out your valet business, you have to go to the state and you got to put it public. And then when you sell the business, it's no longer, nobody would know if you ran the business. So they know my first and last name. So they're like, oh, he's open. Let's go send some women to him. Bro, they were sending a lot of women to me. When I started running up the business, they were sending all types of women. I passed the test. And there was one, I'm not going to lie, she was Brazilian. She was a bad broad, man. At the same time, I knew she was super sent because I knew she was a type of woman that already had money. At the same time, she was sent. Because why would you want to work for me? So the guy under me was Venezuelan, right? And the guy under him was a so-called, Black American man. I mean, yeah, so-called black guy. Get what I'm saying. So I had those two under me, making sure everything was good. So the Venezuelan guy, I believe, knew her because he's Latino. So he was like, "Hey, I got a lady that will make the guys money." I said, "Okay, bring her in." I looked at her. I asked her a few questions, translating. They speak a different language, whatever the case may be. So she was trying to touch me. I said, "Oh, miss." I looked at my Venezuelan guy. I said, "Yo, you better talk to her, man." She's like, he told her, bro. Because it's like she knew I was running the business. I was just dressing regular. He was with the suit. I was dressing regular because I didn't want them to know that I ran the business. I wanted them to think he ran the business because he was more out there than I was. You get what I'm saying?
Now, let me tell you what.
Go ahead.
I met a black gentleman from another country.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the bathroom and a woman went into the men's bathroom. That's how badly she wanted to destroy his career. She went to the men's bathroom.
Wow.
She went to the men's bathroom. You believe that? And listen, I'm going to say this.
How you knew when you was going to become 6 figures? When you knew? I was at
the dreams that I've had. The dreams that I've had that, was telling me I don't belong in the city anymore. Okay,
we're going to leave it at that. Okay, go ahead.
So my whole point was, this gentleman told me that it would, and he's dark-skinned black. He had a white woman, Caucasian, going into the men's bathroom with her. Now, do you know if she would have called the police, he would have gone to jail?
Man, this is crazy, man.
So I'm going to say this to you. It's to the point now, man, you're going to need the recording devices. If you go to the bathroom and you see somebody that's not there, I'm going to say this to you now. Get the heck out of that bathroom. Mm-hmm. If that person don't belong in the same bathroom as you, you better leave that bathroom.
Yep.
Because, see, evil works in so many ways, man. And like I said, evil comes all shapes and sizes and colors and nationalities.
Yep.
We don't know everything. Now, it's not me saying it. It's the Heavenly Father said. He said, ye shall not know all.
Yep.
So that's the words of Christ himself. Ye shall not know all. But I'm going to tell you, male or female, if you're in your bathroom, if you're a man and a woman goes in there, you better leave that bathroom. And if you're a woman and if it's a man going into the woman's bathroom, you better call the police.
Yep, because there are successful women being targeted too. So I agree with that. Yep.
Not as much as the men.
Not as much as the men. Facts, facts, facts. Say that again.
Not as much as the men.
Yep, that's facts.
The men. Now, you know when you see a horror movie, usually the main character is a man, right?
Yep.
And now they're starting to make it that the woman's the main character.
Mm-hmm.
But see, you and I both know that it's fake. You and I both know that in that situation, she would cry and pee on herself and doo-doo herself.
Yeah.
But this is the point that I don't understand what the individual is getting. What benefit are you getting to destroy another person's career? This was a decent man of color, businessman. He was dressed up there, bro. I'm not joking. He was dressed up there. And he told me he had some crazy woman going into the men's bathroom. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to hold my tongue. I'm being real. This happens in the pool a lot. A woman can go into the men's bathroom, and they won't get arrested. But if it's vice versa, the man gets arrested.
That's a fact. That's a fact. No lies told.
Now, if it's me and my brother on the line, and a third and fourth party, and we decide to call the lawyers and we place a lawsuit because they're in violation of our civil rights, that's a different story.
Right.
You know? And this is the problem that humanity doesn't understand. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're doing this evil deed. This man is a man that has a wife and has kids and everything. And here you are going into the bathroom when he's trying to do his business.
What would you say? What would you say to family? Okay, now that's a good question. What would you say to family men now in 2025 that may want to bring another woman around? Should they do that based on the climate? Or if they do that, what they should watch out for if they do that?
If you are married, I'm going to tell you this. This is coming from the heart and this is coming from reality. You have a freedom of will. Every individual, says the Bible, it's not me, it's in the Bible. So I'm not going to say the name of a celebrity, okay? But this man made the worst mistake in his life for bringing a second woman to his life. He caught a virus and it's uncurable. Mm-hmm. So I want to tell you guys, you know, if you're going to do your business, you know, carry protection and also make sure you got your devices because you don't want her to say something else. Now, this is what I seen. I want everybody to listen to this. I was in a supermarket and one of the male workers who is married kissed one of the female employees in the mouth. You know? But this is the kind of world. Remember who rules the earth. I'm not gonna say who, you know who. Okay? So you have to be cautious. Your actions, your thoughts, your words, and your deeds, you have to be careful. Don't make any bad mistakes. Because I'm a real man, because I'm gonna tell you, I'd rather be alone than be with somebody and then later on go to the clinic and they told me I got this, that, and the third.
I'm with you on that. Real talk.
I'm terrified of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been single 22 years. I'm not afraid to say it. But you know what? 22 years of being clean. 16 16 years, Sullivan, for being clean. Because you know what? What does the Bible say? All wickedness is but little to who? The wickedness of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And and believe it or not, sometimes you might have an altercation with someone, but you didn't realize that that someone has a relative that's infected, and they tell the first relative to tell it to the second, go infect this person for me, and they'll do it.
Yep. Man.
Now, you want me to lie to you? You gotta pay me, because I'm gonna tell you men like this. You damn well better be loyal, because I'm gonna tell you something. The worst punishment doesn't come from me; it comes from heaven.
Yep.
And it's the worst ever. I've had someone I gave advice to, he did not listen to me, he lost everything. I'm gonna say everything. The wife and the kids. So, you know, you don't take care of your store, the government's gonna take it away from you.
Yeah, man. So let me ask you one more question, then we're gonna, call it a night.
Yeah.
Now that you are in a situation to where you could provide a cost for a woman and all that, are you more precautionary than you was when you didn't have the funds you have now?
Damn right. More cautious, 100 times more. Because, like I said, evil is always around.
So would you tell people with the more money you make, the more evil try to get you?
Damn right.
So what would you say to the guys that's not making that much money, that they don't know evil until they make more money? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't now I'm gonna tell all you men.
You don't even know the woman until you make a lot more money too.
Exactly, but let me say this.
Hell yeah, go ahead.
If Jesus had enemies, we all do. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Of course.
I have enemies.
The Bible says the enemies of your own household too.
Yeah, exactly. So, I would tell you, for me, it's outside my bloodline, but I'm gonna say that, like I said, I knew this kid since he was little. But why would he try to set me up like that?
Yep.
And let me
because
tell
you got that money.
Exactly. And let me tell you, when you see somebody giving you this weird look, like with anger,
yeah.
Like, why are you looking at me like you mad at me for when you're the loser?
Yeah.
This is the problem. They want to look at you with anger, but they the loser. They don't want to do nothing for themselves.
Yeah.
They do certain things. I'm going to say this. There was one guy that he was a smart aleck with his mouth, and I told him, because he tells me, oh, you don't have no friends. I told him, you know what? That means if your life is in danger, I'm going to let you pass.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, this is how wicked people are. They'll talk to you the way they want to, even if you didn't do shit wrong to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say,
yeah.
I'm gonna look at you and tell you this. Some people don't know when to quit, and some people saying, you know what? I'm gonna, how you say it, take 5, like take a breather.
Yeah.
But some people just don't care. They just want to destroy somebody's life.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the determination that people have.
Yeah.
So, but they don't understand, when the Most High gets you, it ain't gonna be peaches and cream.
That's a fact.
Because if you was mad for 3 or 4 individuals to hit it big, and you destroyed that. You really destroyed their reputation. Now, I want to say this. You listen to me.
All right, this is the final one. Go ahead.
I met a man that I was friends with the girl's brothers. The girl, the sister. Things led to one thing to another. The kissing to second base. We all know what second base is. Okay, forget about that. Now listen up. She falsely accused him. Made false accusations about him. Fake crocodile tears is what we call it.
Yep.
Crying fakely.
Okay.
That poor guy had to take therapy for over 2 years. Now I knew he was innocent because I always saw him with a girl better looking than the one that he was in the house with that day.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that something was wrong. Later on, the truth came out. Now, I would say again, no one's without sin, but let me tell you this.
Right.
The one is going to punish that person for doing that to that poor guy. He's up there in the sky.
Yep.
So just to let you know, you can know the girl. Listen up, you can know the other individual as long as you want. I'm being blunt now. And then she'll say, no, he did this and that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you see, more than you know, the most painful part is
What's that?
He's very, you know, it only hit. It didn't go viral. If it would have went viral, he would have ended up committing death.
Mm-hmm.
He would have ended up taking himself out because it was such a hideous thing that she lied about. You know?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, you know who you gotta answer to, and he's not gonna be too happy. So this is what I'm gonna tell you. There is multiple females.
Yep. I'm listening.
That don't like to take no for an answer.
Yep. Yep. Say that again. Say that again.
There's gonna be multiple females that don't like to take no for an answer.
I've been dealing with that lately. Go ahead.
And what it is that they feel they're in a conquest.
Yep.
They feel like they're in a conquest. And it's bigger than what you think.
Oh boy.
So
We're gonna keep that private. Oh boy. When you say that I kind of know what it is.
So what you need to do is keep your recording devices handy.
I got my recording devices ready. Yep. Oh man.
But remember who's watching.
Let me ask you this question, man. When you don't want something, why do they have to come around, man? I thought this. Let me ask you this: how can I avoid this, man? The only way to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only way I could avoid these type of broads, man, is when I make it. Because I noticed when you make it, let me ask you this. Can you avoid them when you make it, or you can avoid it? Let me ask you that.
You can avoid it, but I would honestly tell you, like I said before, live in a different part of the state where you're at now.
Okay, let me ask you that. Okay, that's a good point. Should I thought about this. The person that I am now, should I be working a 9 to 5? Honestly speaking.
No.
But I have no choice. You know why?
No, I know why. But once you hit it big, you're not going to need to anymore.
That's my main goal. Because, bro,
I am gonna
I'll
tell
be
you.
honest with you. I cannot be around people that long, man. I can't. I think you know that. You didn't want to tell me that, but you know I don't want to be around people too long.
I'm just saying for the sake of argument, bro. People are so evil,
Yeah.
and they're so like I don't care attitude. Like I'm even gonna say this, man.
I think the Most High you ain't had to deal with what I have to deal with, man. Because you know, bro, the 9 to 5 now, even though I big up Florida, bro.
I'm gonna
Man, I can't work around people too long, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's getting to that point. I don't know how people do it. I can't do it. I'm too. My light is too strong. I'm not into the gossip. I'm not into all that stuff. You know, I'm not into that. Oh, my husband doing this, my wife doing. Oh, bro, I don't want my name attached to none of that nonsense, man.
This is all a test. That's the one thing you got to remember and figure out. You see, a lot of people in general are not happy what they have until they lose it.
I know that, but I don't want to be part of it, though.
No, what you have to do, and this is going to be up to you.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a wedding band and put it in your hand.
God, come on, man. Bro, why I gotta do all this theatrics for them to leave me alone, man? Come on, Ethan, man.
Well, you can either do that.
Golly.
You can either do that, or when you hit it big, hurry up and leave there.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say nothing when I do it, man. I gotta be quiet when that happens, because I don't need no people try to find out where I stay and all that. Yeah, hell yeah, I gotta transfer out of here once I hit big. Hell yeah.
You're damn right.
I can't stay where I'm at.
No. But what's the beauty of it is, the beauty of it is, you read the Bible, Psalms 91 and 23, like I instructed you to, and you're going to see.
All right, now, man.
I'm going to say this, and it's going to be my final time. Oh, such and such, are you free for dinner? You say, no, I got a business meeting. That's all you got to say. Are you free for dinner or lunch or maybe a coffee? No, I got a business meeting.
I know what woman is going to do that. I already have it in mind. I seen her today. She already started her mess, and she going to try to get me to go out with her. Hell no, I ain't going out with her. Hell no. Hell no.
But you see, it's more of, you see, the birth rate is deteriorating a lot.
Yeah, because the men don't want to have no kids now. I don't blame men for not having kids right now.
Yes, but they're not looking for any ordinary man. Let me put it to you that way.
Okay.
They don't want a regular guy. I'm not the only one with the ability, clairvoyance, and clairaudience. There's women out there that have it also.
Well, I already know that, but yeah. Yeah.
Now, what's the wonderful part about it is, you can just look at her and smile and say, well, you know what, I'm not interested. I gotta go. Thank you. Thank you anyway. Now, there's a polite way how to say no. You ask me out, right? Said, Ethan, let's have lunch. I look at her saying, I would love to, but I have to go to a business meeting.
That's what you would tell her, yeah.
You would say, because I have to go to a business meeting, I can't afford any distractions.
Yeah.
So you see, the funniest thing is, man, justice shall prevail and evil shall fall.
I agree with that. Appreciate you for coming on, man.
wanna talk to me for a second before you go, or
Yeah, but we'll talk another time because I gotta get ready for tomorrow, man.
be somebody with thick hands
Uh-huh.
has eyes on you? Like I'm looking at my refrigerator and I'm seeing a woman with thick hands, light skin, but I can't see her face though.
I know who it is. You ain't gotta tell me. I know who it is. Tell me, send me a message what it is. Don't say it publicly. Send me a message what it is, and I'll tell you what it is. All right?
All right, brother. I'll talk to you. What is it, Friday?
Yeah, talk to me Friday. All right, we talk Friday.
All right.
Peace. Oh man. So that's about that, y'all. You know, it's almost an hour. You know, Brainwaves, Keystone, Fiber Studio, and Corey in the chat. Let's see who else. That's it. Yeah, Fiber Studios, Corey, Robert the Great, and Brainwaves in the chat, and Keystone. I'm out of here, y'all. Let me see how the lights is looking. The lights is going to determine what's going to happen with the content. If I'm going to keep it up or not. Let me see. Let me see how the lights is looking. The lights is very low. So that means we have a lot of spies coming in. A lot of spies watching it. You notice we're having a lot more spies than usual coming in my chat. They spying. Oh, I got my answer ready from Ethan. You know, oh boy. Let me tell him something. I know exactly who he's talking about. Oh boy. Man, sometimes I say to myself, man, I don't want these crazy bras want to get with me, man. They crazy, man. They crazy. They are crazy out here, man. Y'all guys ain't missing nothing out here in these streets, man. They crazy. How long I've been on? 57 minutes? All right. That's pretty much about it. I didn't expect any support. Let me just check though. I didn't see anything come to the screen before I get on out of here. Did I get any support? Yeah, I haven't got any support the last few days. I haven't got support the last few days. But that's all right. I knew this is going to happen. I already figured this is going to happen. It's been quiet the last few days. But I'm about to get on out of here. I'm going to be very careful what he just showed me. I know who the woman is that's trying to get my attention. I don't want her. Nope, I do not want her. I told her I don't want her. Because he's matching a woman. I know who it is. That's why I say I don't want to talk about it publicly. I don't want her. Ladies, I want to be to myself 2025. That's it. Leave me. Let me just be to myself 2025. Can I be to myself 2025? Can you find another man to be with 2025? Can you really find yourself another man to be with in 2025? Oh, he said some women don't like giving up. I don't care if they don't like giving up. I don't care. Why is he telling me this? I don't care. I don't care they don't want to give up. He's right. I don't care. Listen, man, I don't care about no relationship 2025. Well, when have y'all heard me talking about getting with a woman 2025? I told y'all I don't mind chilling with women. That's it. I ain't doing nothing with these women 2025. Nope. I've been sticking to it. And ever since I've been in Florida, I've been staying to myself. Ain't no woman gonna get me off my mission. So they could send whatever woman they want to send at the site. They could send whatever woman they want to send in another state. I am staying on the mission. I don't want to deal with no woman 2025. I got to get to my millionaire status. I got to make up for what I lost last year. Ain't no man, ain't no brother that I'm cool with or cordial with or is a brother, a friend. Nobody is getting in my way. Nobody, none of you. So if you keep trying, the Most High gonna deal with you. Do I make myself clear? If you ain't supporting, you ain't important. And let me tell you, ladies, something right now. I don't care who you are. I don't go by what you say. I go by actions. You've been warned, ladies. You've been warned. That goes for every lady. I don't go by what you say. I go by actions. I have a good memory of what's going on. I just don't talk about it because I'm making moves. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying. Don't talk about it. Be about it. And if any guy try to get in my ear, I know a woman sent you. I know the whole playbook. I know the whole playbook. I know the whole playbook. You know how I know what's going on? And how you doing, Selena? I see everybody saying hello to Selena. Shout out to everybody in the building. Ladies. Rollo wants to stay to himself 2025. Can I say to myself? Can I stay to myself 2025? Can you find yourself another man to talk to get up with? I'm giving you, the woman know who she is. The woman know who she is on the internet and off the internet. Can y'all talk to another man? Is it get with the other man? Because once Ethan described the woman, I know who she is. There's a woman on the site. There's a woman on the internet. Can y'all find another man? Can y'all find another man? I told her. I told the one on the internet. I told the one at the site, listen, I'm not interested in you in that way because you have other options. Let me stay to myself. I don't want to know why you're interested in me. I don't want to know why you have feelings for me. I don't care. I really don't. Oh my gosh, this is crazy, man. That's why I'm trying to get to the next step. You ladies are in the way. You ladies are in the way of my mission. I don't know what you're saying to God, but you're not telling God to get me to my next step. You telling God, can I get with Rollo? And Rollo is telling God, I don't want to get with them right now. So that's where the mixed signals is coming in. They coming in, I want you. I'm coming in like I'm not even dealing with you right now. Don't you know what happened to me last year? You think I'm going to just get back in a relationship? I lost a chance to be a millionaire. Ain't no woman in the world. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care how submissive y'all say she is. If you ask Rollo, which choice in the bed you're going to take? Is you going to take that fine woman in the bed, or you going to take that $1 million cash? 10 times out of 10, I'm taking that $1 million and see the world. And then eventually get with a woman of my choice. Y'all already know what it is. At the end of the day, you could take it to the bank. You could y'all could name the finest woman in the world. And she lays on the bed. She got the baddest perfume on. She's smelling good, looking good, everything done, everything natural. She's silky now. And you say, Rollo, you taking her or you taking that $1 million? I'm going to look at that $1 million. I glance at her one time. I'm glancing at the $1 million more. You already know what it is at the end of the day. So don't making it be known. You're not going to get in my way of what I'm supposed to get, ladies. And you fellas ain't helping. You fellas ain't helping. So I don't expect the fellas to help. I already know the game plan for myself for 2025. I already know what time it is. And this is the reason why. It is what it is. Now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to get messages from the women. I'm going to get messages from the men. They're going to send me all this cliche talk behind the scenes. And I'm going to chuckle. I'm going to chuckle. I know the playbook. I know the playbook. Now, Keystone, that's not what I'm going to do if I get $1 million. I'm going to have plenty of women. No, Keystone. No. That's not how I roll. You think I'm going to have $1 million? I'm going to have a bunch of women around me? After everything that's going on, man, these women will make you poor in one day, bro. Shoot. I'll get me a lady. Ain't going to be just any woman. That's the difference. I'm too smart, Keystone. You forgot who I am, didn't you? Keystone, you forgot who I am. That Rollo been gone a long time ago, man. I'm more mature. I'm more aware. I know the consequences and all that. You guys can have all the ladies you want in 2025. Don't wait on me. Do what you want to do. But just know, don't call me when you are in debt with these frauds. And I told y'all, it's great to have a friend like Ethan for 20 years, man. Wow, man. And yes, he's Puerto Rican. I have a Puerto Rican friend for over 20 years, man. Older than me. 8 years older than me. Yep, a long time, y'all. Wow, over 20 years, man. It's hard to come with people like that these days. You're talking about since 21. I'm 46. He's 54. Yep, 54. He'd be 55 this year. I'd be 47 this year. This is crazy, man. Because I think Ringo's going to be 48 around the corner. So shout out to Ringo. He's going to be 48 this year around the corner. Can't wait. It's going to be an interesting day. So that's about it, y'all. Yeah, Keystone, you're about what, 52? Keystone about 52, 53 years old. You're in your 50s, Keystone, right? I think Keystone is about 51, 52 years old. Yep. So anyway, Oh man, I've been over an hour, man. God darn it. Let me get off this live stream. All right, Fable Studios, Keystone, Selena, Brainwaves, and Corey, and everybody else tuning in. I'm out.